Almost there.
There are a handful of people, and I wonder why if they're late, so maybe the longer the Zoom takes, the better for my anxiety.
Is your hand raised, Charlie? Yeah, what's going on?
How do we get up there?
How do you get up to where Jeff is? There's a secret staircase. There's Jacob's ladder somewhere.
Charlie often asks questions during.
I love it. That's all right. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome back for those of you who began the journey with us last evening. Welcome to Temple Akiba of Culver City. For those who are here via Zoom and live stream, we welcome you as well. My name is Rabbi Zach Schapiro, here with Cantor Lonnie Freilich, our cantorial intern, Liz Baseman. And it's not just any Shabbat. This is the Shabbat during which we're celebrating Daniel becoming a Bar Mitzvah. And we welcome, we know there are people here from Atlanta and Jersey City, from Boston, New York, Guatemala. We've got a lot of people in, and even from Granada Hills.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it is.
we're very happy that you're here. Members of Daniel's class at Temple Akiba, we're here to help hand out prayer books on your way in. Did anyone get by them without getting a blue siddur? Just raise your hand. So okay.
We have one person.
We have a couple, so thanks for helping us out. We're going to use these siddurim, these prayer books, as a guide to our journey through the service. If you ever feel like you want to reflect on a prayer and the rest of us have gone ahead, that's okay. Stay on that page and be in the moment. These, again, are here to guide us through our service this morning. Cantor, let's talk about music.
So Daniel will be leading us through most of our prayers alongside myself, Rabbi, and our cantorial intern, Liz. But we love for you to participate. So even though Daniel is going to be leading us, we love to engage all of you within our prayers, within our songs. So we encourage you to sing along. We will be calling out the page numbers as we go through the service. And I always say, don't let the words get in the way. If you know the Hebrew, if you don't, if you know the English or you don't, just sing la la la, but just sing with us.
And Cantor, a number of people as they walked in said, oh, this is the same siddur we use, so we expect a lot out of you, okay? One other request, please just take a moment to look at your cell phones and make sure that they are in the silent mode so that we don't get interrupted during the service, with fancy ringtones. We're going to open with the singing of Hine Matov. It's on page 70 of our prayer books. Let's please sing together. It means how wonderful it is that we're here together as a community.
Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
We're going to turn back a couple of pages in our book to page 67 And Daniel, we invite you forward to open our service with this reading at the top of the page.
May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hopes to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
As an architect, or as a budding architect, Daniel, we wanted to offer a reading about what it means to enter holy space. We now invite your grandfather, Gary Rosen, to come forward for the presentation of this very special heirloom, this talit. We're on page 72 of our prayer books. You're going to hold it right behind him.
As I wrap myself in the talit, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Bless Adonai, O my soul, Adonai my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahitatef batzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
Turn around. Mazel tov to you. If I understand correctly, this talit was the talit, Gary, that you received at your bar mitzvah? Yes, sir. Oh my gosh, it's just about 10 or 15 years ago. Just a couple. For the very first time, you put on a talit as a commanded Jewish adult. You fulfilled the first mitzvah ever as a Jewish adult. And how beautiful it is that you're doing it with this heirloom, with this talit that has been now many, many generations, 3, even 4 generations in your family have had their loving hands on it. Whenever we come to a first time in Judaism, we offer a shehechianu, a blessing of thanksgiving, thanking God for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to be right here, right now. The words are on page 344.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehachianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehachianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
Every day we have an opportunity to notice the blessings that exist in the world, the miracles. And our prayer book gives us a head start. Daniel will be chanting part of the Nesim B'chol Yom, the blessings of our miracles for every day. He'll be chanting them in Hebrew, but we'll respond by singing Amen. We're on page 84. Flip them on your page.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani b'tzelom Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani ben chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shesani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael b'gevurah.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifarah.
Amen.
Continuing now on page 106 with the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yitkadal ve'yitkadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirute v'yamlech malchute. Bechayechon uvyomechon uchaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, vimeru,
Amen.
Yehei shmei rabba mevarach, le'olam olam me'omaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha brichu, le'alan min kol b'chirata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiram be'alma, v'meru.
Amen.
Kendra, I think we can just go off.
I think so.
Vima, you know,
We can
she's
just sit.
We continue on page 108 with our formal call to worship the Baruch Hu. We invite all who are able to please rise.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
On page 110, let's read together in the Hebrew. Baruch
Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvarei choshech osei shalom uvarei et hakol hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim u'v'tuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chochma asita Mala haaretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'orei or she'asita, yifa'arucha sela, or chadash al Sion ta'ir, v'nizkeh chulanu mehera le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer ha'me'orot.
Shema Yisrael, our central prayer, is on page 114.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Daniel continues with the chanting of the V'ahavta, the prayer of love, on page 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha uv'chol nefshacha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shiftecha bevetecha uvletecha v'derech uv'shofbecha uv'kumecha Ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha Leman tiskeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim le'elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher chotzitzi etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihot lechem le'elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Amen. Beautiful. On page 121, we're going to offer a responsive reading in the center of the page.
The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else.
May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice.
Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore.
You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart.
The stranger that sojourns with you shall be accepted as your equal, for you are strangers in the land of Egypt.
Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Asks God.
We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy.
Praise to God Most High.
Blessed is God and deserving of blessing. Our next prayer is the Michamocha, but it is going to be encompassed into a dancing prayer, Miriam's song, and we encourage anyone who would like to come forward and grab a tambourine to reenact what the children of Israel did as Miriam and Moses crossed the Sea of Reeds. In our prayer books, the words are on page 342, page 342. We encourage people of all ages to come forward, grab a tambourine.
I flipped directly into the page twice in a row.
Everyone dance this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances towards the light. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. As Miriam stood upon the shore and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea was hard with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Micha mocha, daili Madonna. Micha mocha, nena bakodet. Nora tehilo, no se fella. Nora tehilo, no se fella. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
I use tambourines in a very weird way. I'm like this, right? But if I'm slightly off, I'll stab my hand. Ouch. I like doing it that way, though. It's fun, you know? It's a bit of excitement to it. If I miss, then I'm dead.
Folks, can you help bring these back?
You guys have to bring it back.
Don't be lazy.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate it. Don't they?
Technically, we're 8th graders now, but like...
That's true.
Oh, that's true. Right. Friends, we're going to continue now with the Amidah section of our service. It begins on page 124. 124, we invite the congregation to rise once again.
Adonai sefatif tifta ufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Hachastei Avot v'Imaot, Umevi Geula, Livnei Venehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atah, Rav Lehoshia, Mechakel Haim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Zomei Noflim V'forei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatmiach Yeshua, V'ne'aman Atah L'chayot Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol. Nekadesh et Shimcha Ba'olam, Keshem Shemakdishim Oto Bishmei Marom, Kakatuv Al Ya'an Neviyecha, Vekara Ze'el Ze Ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzevaot, Meloch Ol Haaretz, Kevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu, Ma'adir Shimcha, B'chol Haaretz,
Baruch Kevod Adonai Mimkomo.
Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu vehu Yashmienu, berachamav le'enei kochai. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam, Elohai Tzyon, Ledor vador, Hallelujah. Ledor vador nagid God lecha, Ula netzchach nexahim kedushcha nakdish, Eshivchacha Eloheinu, Mepinu lo yamush leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
We're going to take our own moments for personal prayers at this time. We can use our Sidurim, our prayer books, between pages 132 and 142. Perhaps find a reading or a prayer that resonates with you. Or else just take a moment to look inward and close your eyes and offer your own personal prayer. And when you're finished with your own prayer, you may be seated. Seventh grade, come on up. Eighth grade, come on up. Leave your books there. Charlie, do you want to join us up here too?
Hot. It's the bald one.
How about Lucy?
Is Lucy here?
Lucy, you want to come?
Oh, there you are, Lucy. Please, yeah. Daniel, are you all set?
Torah time.
Hold on one second. You've been leading us so beautifully through the service, and you're now going to take our ancient scroll and bring it out of the ark with us and breathe new life into it with only the eyes and the mind that you have. It's the beauty of Judaism that we don't leave the Torah back behind the ark, but we take it out and we wrestle with it, we discuss it, we learn about it, and we ask lots of questions about it. And so we are now at Seder Kriyat Torah, the service for the reading of Torah. We're in our prayer books on page 244, and we'd like to invite Lucy and Charlie and Hazel and Henry to come forward. And Daniel, we'd like you up here as well, and we invite the congregation to rise once again. Charlie, come on. Hazel, Henry, Lucy.
You don't need to.
So Charlie, you're going to take this side. Lucy over here, and your cousins will help you out. Slide. Okay, go for it.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kemasecha, malchutecha, malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch, leolam va'ed. Adonai os le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, av harachamim, heitiv avitzoncha et Tzion. Tivnei Chamot Yerushalayim. Tivnei Chamot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad batachnu. Melech el ram v'nisa Adon olamim.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah.
Udevar Adonai Yerushalayim. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah. Le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
We now invite the generations of the family to come forward who are going to hand Torah down. So we invite Gary and Maxine Rosen and Jane Schapiro, Marnie and Matt, and Charlene and Lucy, we want you back up here again. So come on forward, everyone.
Yes, you do, Charlie. You have to be here.
Charlie, you're going to be over on that side. Lucy, you're going to be with your brother.
Daniel, you're going to be right next to Lucy.
You're welcome. So a little choreography. Grandparents on this side by me. Parents in the middle. Perfect. Lador vador, from generation to generation, this scroll has been handed down, beginning with a conversation between Moses and God at Mount Sinai. Daniel, today, this conversation is yours. And it's yours to study and to hold and to embrace. Someday it'll come into Lucy and Charlie's hands, but in another generation, may you be lucky enough to have children such as yourselves to hand this down as they ascend to these moments.
Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagi God lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushatcha nahakdish.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu Adonai iti uneromema shemo yachdav. Behind us. Shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim. Haolam, haolam, omed. Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim. Haolam, haolam, omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut
Can you hear this? Good.
Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim. Al shlosha devarim. Shloshah Devarim Haolam Haolam Omein.
We're going to take those hands out.
Al HaTorah
Devarim.
Shloshah Devarim.
Please be seated, everyone.
Shloshah Devarim Haolam Haolam Omein. Shloshah Devarim. Shloshah Devarim. Shloshah
Haolam Omein. Everyone, thank you, Cantor. If you place your Sidurim on the seat next to you or in that slot in the seat in front of you and pull out the Chumash, that's the larger, thicker commentary to Torah. And if you open up to page 923, page 923, we can follow along in the Torah reading. We're going to be calling forward a number of aliyot who are going to be offering the blessings before and after the reading. Just in case you weren't able to see, on the cantor side is a handrail if you'd like to use that. There's also the ramp, or you can come up these stairs over here. When you come up for the blessing, you'll be standing to my left, and you'll be here for that blessing. And then when you're finished with your blessing after, you're going to come over to the cantor side and be there for the following aliyah as well. For the first aliyah, we invite forward once again Jane Schapiro, Grandma, and Uncle David Schapiro. Ya'amdu Chaya Tova v'David. Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bakar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Vayedaber Adonai El Moshe Lemor Naso Et Rosh Bnei Gershon Gam Hem Levet Avotam Lemishpechotam.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
For our second aliyah, we invite Maxine and Gary Rosen, grandparents Ya'amdu Malka ve'Gedalia ben Ephraim.
Baruch et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Hambarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Hamim, V'natan Lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai, Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Mi ben 30 shana v'mala ad ben 50 shana tivkod otam kol haba litzvot tzava la'avod avoda b'chel moed.
Baruch Hu Atah Adonai,
Eloheinu melech olam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan v'tulkeinu, Baruch atah Adonai, noten HaTorah.
Amen. Thank you so much.
You're right.
I know.
For our third Aliyah, we invite forward cousins Sophia and Elizabeth Hindler.
Sophie's not here, she's sick.
Oh, well, we understand Sophia is sick, but she is here very much in spirit, so we're still going to call her by her Hebrew name. Ta'amdu Sarah Rachel v'Leah Sarah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hambarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach
You're right, yeah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amin, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Zot avodat mishpechot hagershuni la'avod ulamesa.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam nata b'toheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you both.
For our fourth Aliyah, we invite forward Rich and Lauren Schapiro, uncle and aunt. Ya'amod Rachmiel.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen.
V'naseu et yeriot hamishkan ve'et ohel moed. Miksehu umikseh hatachash asher alav milmala. Ve'et masach peta ohel moed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Thank you both so very much. For our fifth Aliyah, we invite forward aunt and uncle Andy and Gabe Lay. Ta'amod Adiel. Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Ve'et kale hechatzer ve'et masach petach sha'ar hechatzer asher al hamishkan ve'al mizbeach saviv ve'et metrehem ve'et kol kalei avodatam ve'et kol asher yaseh lahem ve'avadu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam nata betochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Thank you both so much. For our sixth Aliyah, we now invite forward Marnie and Matt, and Charlie and Lucy, if you'll come up with us as well. Ya'amdu Masha v'Meir Simcha.
What are we doing?
We're doing the prayers. Ready?
Baruch Hu Adonai HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Al pi Aharon uvanav tiyeh kol avodat b'nei hagershuni lechol masa'am ulechol avodatam uvkadtem alechem b'mishmeret et kol masa'am.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you both so much.
Ya'amod, 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 HaBachur, HaBar Mitzvah, Shaya ben Masha v'Meir Simcha. We now invite the Bar Mitzvah himself, Daniel Bing Schapiro with a C, for his Aliyah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach,
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Zot avodat mishpechot b'nei hagershuni be'ochel moed umishmartam beyad Itamar ben Aharon hakohen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher koach. We're going to lift the Torah so you can see the section that Daniel chanted from. And Cantor's actually going to point out a part of Daniel's Torah portion which we will be referring to later. It's called the priestly benediction. And you can see in our Torah how it's indented a little bit differently. It's one of the most beautiful prayers that there is. Daniel will be talking about it in a little bit, and then we're going to be offering this as a blessing later on. As we lift the Torah, we invite you to please rise.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai ve'ad Moshe. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai.
Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai
Ya lai la lai lai la lai lai.
Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai.
Daniel just chanted so beautifully from the section of the law, the Torah. We're going to continue with the section from the prophets known as the Haftarah. We can look in our Chumash, our larger books, on page 947, page 947. Daniel will begin with the blessing before the Haftarah portion.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Wait.
Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bahar bin v'im tovim v'ratza v'divrahem hane amarim be'emet Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'invi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek vayehi ish echad mitzorah mimishpachat harani ushmo manoah vishto akara velo yalada vayerach malach Adonai al ha'isha vayomer eleha hinena at akara velo yaladet veharit veyaladet ben ve'ata ishamrina ve'al tishti yain ve'shechar ve'al tochli kol tameh ki hinach ve'yoladet ben umora le'ale al rosho kin ze'ir Elohim yeh hana'ar min ha'beten vehu yahel lehoshia et Yisrael miyad palishtim vatavo ha'isha vatomer le'isha le'mor ish ha'elohim ba'elai umar'ehu kemar'eh malach ha'elohim nora me'od velo sheltihu emizehu ve'et shemo lehigid li.
In just a moment, Daniel will be offering the blessing after the chanting of the Haftarah. And during this moment, we have the opportunity to pass out little candies to everyone, not for you to eat right now, but for you to gently, when he's finished, gently and lovingly, you're waving your head no, all right, toss onto the bima as a sign of our love. We ask that you each take just, one or two candies to throw. Then when you're done, those who are young at heart can come and pick them up from the bima. We ask of you that you please stuff them in your pockets, not eat in the sanctuary, not crinkle them around in the sanctuary during the rest of the service. Are you ready?
Yeah, me and my sister have a bet. If she throws it and it lands in my mouth, she owes me $3, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready, go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sor kol haolamim Tzadik bechol hadorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'medaber u'mekayem, shekol divarav emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah ve'al havodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lachavod uletifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim la umavarchim otach yitbarach shimcha b'chol kai tamid leolam va'ed baruch ata Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Go for it.
No.
Oh my God. All right, everyone, come and clean it up.
Come and grab it.
Way off.
Naomi.
Friendly fire is not accepted in this lobby. I'm getting my thingy. It's my seat.
Are these yours? Oops, sorry. Are those yours?
As many of the young people were up here collecting pursefuls of candy, they were saying to each other, I'm going to be so sick, I'm going to be so sick. What a great segue to our prayer for healing. Everyone take a deep breath. Let's put our Chumash back and take our Sidurim back out and open up to page 253. And it really is during this time of the service filled with lots of joy that we take that strength and remember that there are those who really and truly are in need of healing. We look at what's happening in the world and the fractures that are out there. We look at what's happening here in Los Angeles with all those who are unsheltered. We think about those who wanted to be here at the service but got sick and couldn't make it. And we think about those who are in here right now who are broken. And each of us is broken in some small way. And so we offer this prayer for healing. We'll sing together the first verse, and when we get to the center, as my eyes meet yours, if there are people that you're thinking of who could use some healing, please share those names out loud. Again, page 253.
Avotenu mekor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. say Amen.
Before we place Torah back in the ark, what an honor it is to call forward Jody Guinness, who is going to offer a special prayer on behalf of the state of Israel. We're on page 259, page 259 in our prayer books. Jody, if I understand, you have been Marnie's best friend since birth, and you shared a bat mitzvah together. How wonderful that you're here.
Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen. As we prepare to place the Torah back in the ark, we invite forward Frankie and Amelia Lay, and we invite the congregation to please rise. Daniel, we'd like you up here as well, and we're on page 256. 256. Ki lekach tov natati lahem torati al ta'azovu. For I have given you good instruction. Do not abandon my Torah. Tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom. It is a tree. Shalom, shalom. It's not a bush. Shalom, shalom. The tree of life. Shalom, shalom. Please be seated, everyone. Let me take this out of your hands.
All right.
Speech time.
What's up?
Basically talk as if I'm talking to Henry. Starting here. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much for coming to my Bar Mitzvah, especially the people that took the risk of going on a plane to see me. My journey to making my way up to the Bima has been a bit of a tough one between all the studying, Zoom meetings, and regular meetings, but it has been a fun one nonetheless. To me, becoming a Jewish adult means not just to take on more responsibility, be able to practice more prayers, and gain the ability to become an aliyah, which in my opinion is one of the greatest honors that you could have. But to me, it also means that I now have to think for myself. I need to make my own choices, which up until now I didn't really need to do. Becoming a bar mitzvah has also helped me with a lot of things outside of practicing, like time management from making time to practice, and the skill of being able to hit my siblings with pillows easier. Speaking of siblings, and Torah and all of the other stuff as well, I want to start talking about my Torah portion. My Torah portion is called Naso, and it is from the 4th book of the Torah, Numbers. Currently, the Jewish people are in their 2nd year of wandering the desert searching for the Promised Land. My portion contains many themes, one of which is the Nazarite's vow, which is a vow that you can elect to take where they abstain from eating any grape products, refrain from cutting their hair, and avoid going near corpses. I don't mean like you can't go near a crime scene or anything with blood and gore everywhere, but what it means is that you can't go to events like funerals or cremations. Another theme towards the end of the Torah is the priestly benediction, which is the one of the most important prayers. It's the one where I'm under Talit and Cantor Lonnie and Dr. Rabbi Schapiro say, "May God's light shine upon you," etc., in English and Hebrew. I just think that it's really cool because, like I said, it's one of the most important prayers out of the hundreds of prayers. But the theme of the section that I connect with mostly and enjoyed hearing about the most is what each of the 12 tribes brought as a sacrifice. The tribe of Daniel, which is my name, brought a silver bowl with grains and oil in it and a bunch of livestock. The leader of the tribe also made a personal sacrifice of a bunch of livestock from his own herd. So my question was, what do I need to sacrifice to make a difference? And at first I couldn't think of anything. And, well, it's more like I didn't want to think of the answer even though I already knew what it was. Eventually, I just accepted the fact that to make a difference, to be able to achieve great things, like my parents say that I probably could, the main thing that I would need to sacrifice is time playing video games, watching TV, and just random unproductive stuff that I love. I really don't want to sacrifice my video game time, but I do want to help people in any way I can. Now, to thank the people who've helped me. First, I want to thank my friends over there. When I first came to Akiba, it honestly feels like just yesterday because most of the time's been during COVID. But even though you guys already had your groups and you barely knew me at all, you still accepted me into your groups and made me feel welcome. That means more to me than you could imagine. Second, I want to thank those two things over there that I'm supposed to believe are related to me. Life with you two is much less like a roller coaster, which is a straight path that you know how it'll end, but much more like a Jeremy Bearimy from The Good Place. Much less a straight line, especially the dot above the I. Still don't really understand how that works. Thank you guys so much for usually not disturbing me during my practice. I know that I will always be there for you, and I really hope that you guys will be there for me. Third, I want to thank my uncles Cheech and Uncle Dave. Thank you for being the best neighbors and uncles ever. You have no idea how honored and happy I am that you guys chose to join me on the Bima for an Aliyah. You guys made my childhood a wonder, and I'm so glad that you're related to me. Fourth, I want to thank Cantor Lonnie, Liz, and Dr. Rabbi Schapiro. I know that I always forgot to practice, always got incredibly distracted really quickly, and probably just made life a bit more stressful for you guys, but I wouldn't have survived my Bar Mitzvah practice without your guidance. Thank you so much for helping me since the beginning, and I just want to say, you spell Schapiro wrong, not me. Fifth, I want to thank my grandmas, Nanny and Mimi. Thank you guys for always getting me presents for my birthday and Hanukkah. Thank you for helping me through any hard time that I may have had. And thank you for always welcoming me to your home when I visit. Thank you, Mimi, for helping me make some of my closest friends at the beach. And thank you, Nanny, for helping me through my practice. Thank you, Papa, for honoring me with your talit. And for all of those that aren't with us any longer, thank you for your love and beautiful memories I carry with me every day. Sixth, I want to thank my mom and dad, the people who have influenced and will influence my life the most. Thank you so much for all that you have done for me. There are no words that can describe how grateful I am for you. I know this sounds like a Mother's Day or Father's Day card that I write as quickly as possible, but I do mean what I'm saying. Thank you so much for bringing me into this world. Thank you so much for giving me a home. Thank you so much for giving me a blanket with my name on it since before I could remember. Thank you for always helping me whenever I need it. Thank you so much for always being there for me. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to fix my mistakes whenever I make them. Thank you so much for always being my parents. I love you more than anyone in the world. Lastly, I want to thank all of you that are here tonight. Thank you so much for supporting me and helping me through this. That's all for now, folks. Good night.
Just the one.
Hello,
Hello.
Okay, so what I would like to say is that Daniel, my brother, he's right over here, he has created an amazing thing for him by having him here and being able to go through this journey. I know that sometimes we don't get along, but I always love him. That's all, folks.
Daniel, that was such an incredible reading from the Torah, and your entire demeanor up here has just been so extraordinary to watch. I want to just take a second and thank everybody so much for being here. It really means so much to us, everyone who traveled from so far away and people who came who are closer. I think it's important to take a second and feel the feeling in here. So emotional. I think it's really important to take a second and feel the feeling in here, because it's the feeling of everyone in here and their love for you, and it's the feeling of everyone who was not, all of our friends and family who are not able to be here because they're somewhere else today, and it's the feeling of everybody who came before us who aren't here anymore, and it's the feeling of all the people who are coming after us who will have so much love for you. And all of that is happening right now. And this is something that I think that you can carry with you, not just now, but for the rest of your life. All of the feeling that you are getting and all of the love that you have from all of us. It exists all the time, and it will always be with you. We love you so much, and we're so proud of you, and I'm so proud of you.
Come here, baby. For the record, Daniel wouldn't let me hear his speech before today, so we're both a little verklempt. Okay. Before I start, I just want to say thank you so much to the entire Akiba community. We are so new to LA and to Akiba, and we have found a home here, and we're so grateful for not only what you've created here, but for the support you've given us during this entire process. So thank you, Randy. Thank you, all of you. All right, Daniel. As a little girl, I used to sit in synagogue, tucked right into my father's arm, playing with the tzitzit on this tallis. And I did that while my rabbi chanted prayers with his absolutely beautiful voice. I specifically remember the somewhat stiff feeling of Papa's suit and the smell of his cologne. I loved being in that spot, and I always felt peaceful and protected into that spot next to my dad. I cannot believe that I am now looking at my baby boy wearing that same talit and taking on the responsibility of becoming a bar mitzvah. Charlie will also wear that same talit when he becomes a bar mitzvah, and I sometimes spend time thinking about where it will go after that. The way you have embraced this moment with commitment, curiosity, confidence, and pride has truly blown me away. You worked hard, but you also had fun, and most importantly, you learned more about yourself in the process. You've learned a lot about life's journeys because your Torah portion is about the journey to the Promised Land. And I think of today as the first big intersection on the journey of your life. And I'd say you're navigating it pretty darn well, with grace and with dignity. The journey that I'm on has been a wondrous one that became 1,000,000 times more beautiful when you made me a mother. I have learned many of the most important lessons of my life because of you. And I am eternally grateful that you are my teacher for that. You have taken on the unspoken and unsolicited responsibility of being the firstborn, even though it can be frustrating and downright annoying. You bring so much love and joy to our family, Daniel. You make us all laugh because of your blossoming sense of humor. You make us all think really hard because you're smarter than everyone else in the family, and yes, even your father. You make us love because of your kindness and sense of immense empathy for people, animals, and environments all around the world. You make us sing at the top of our lungs because of your love of music, and you go with the flow when we want to eat great food and travel because of your sense of adventure. Daniel, you are an amazing human with a beautiful soul, and you are loved beyond measure. Look around you today and see all of these faces that are so dear to us. They are here for you. From Atlanta, New York, Boston, Guatemala, Jersey, and all of the new amazing friends and community we have made here in LA. They are here because you have made an impact on their journeys too. My journey in this lifetime is beautiful because you are my son. I am proud to be your mother. I am in awe of you today. I wish you abundance on the journey ahead, and I will always cheer you on as you move forward on your path. Mazel tov, I love you.
Yeah, Charlie. You want to answer the question?
I think it will move on to one of our kids.
Oh. So for those who didn't hear, Charlie answered his mom's question about where the talit will go after Charlie wears it, and Charlie said it will go on to one of their children. Beautiful. We love that. Well, so we'll be back in 30 years to witness that.
Probably won't exist in 30 years.
Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you?
I stay.
You stay.
This always happens.
How are you doing?
Doing fine.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you. What a wonderful morning this has been. Daniel, it's been so fun working with you. It's been so fun working with you. Sometimes, as you said, on Zoom, sometimes in person. I would look at my watch and our half-hour meetings would morph into 40 minutes, 50 minutes, because you didn't stop asking questions and telling me about what's going on in your life. There's only one desire I have for you, and that's that you replace your love of Pearl Jam with Simon and Garfunkel. But I just don't think that's yet in the cards. Now, I understand, however, that you are interested in playing guitar, and so I'm happy to show you a few folk rock chords that can be put to melodies like Bridge Over Troubled Water or Sounds of Silence, but we'll allow you to find your own path. A word about your Torah portion, and then a word about you. Your Torah portion, which you discussed so brilliantly, also includes a census, and it talks about counting the people from the age of 30 up. 30. And I began to wonder, well, if they count from the age of 30 up, well, you're a Jewish adult at Bar Mitzvah age. Why isn't the age of 13 up? Why doesn't the 13-year-old count in that census? And there's no clear-cut answer except for this, and you put it very well, that when you're 13, you're just starting the journey of being a responsible adult. And there's still lots of questions that come along during that journey. But now you're starting to think about art and science and culture and math and architecture and deep Jewish questions in a whole new way. So that by the time you're 30, you'll be able to, at least according to the census in your Torah portion, you'll be able to have attained a little bit more wisdom than someone who's just beginning this part of the adult journey. You asked so many questions along the way, but one of them hit me very personally. You wanted to know, what does God mean to me? Now, you answered what it means for you. You talked about how in your mind you think of God as just this light that is everywhere. And I'm connecting this right now because as I walked in this morning, your uncle and I had a brief conversation about how filled with light this place is. And it made me think about your question about how filled with God, therefore, this place is. But I take that also in a symbolic way, that it's not only the light that floods in here, but it's the light that is flooding from you right now. And it's the light that's flooding from Charlie and Lucy and your mom and dad and every single one of these. All those tears that you were crying, those are little reflective lights of God. Those are pieces of God's essence. Daniel, where is God? God is in those smiles that you created today. God is in those tears of joy and sometimes sorrow that flow when we're moved in a certain way. Daniel, you brought God to this moment for the rest of us. And so therefore, when I look at you, I see a piece of God right here and right now. In fact, your name, Daniel, my judgment, my thinking, my understanding is with God. That's what your name means. So thank you for bringing God to this place. Thank you, Matt and Marnie, for being here, for finding your home in our congregation. We are honored to have you here, and we are so proud of you. Mazel tov.
Daniel, we had, just like Rabbi was saying, we had the best time when we were working with you. All three of us, we would always talk about how much you made us smile, how fast our sessions seemed to go because we had the best conversations. You are an awesome kid, and it has been such a pleasure getting to know you through this process, getting to know about your love of robotics, about your love of see, I love his taste in music, so great taste in music. You were just fun. You light up every room that you come into. A couple weeks ago at my daughter's Bar Mitzvah, you totally brightened up the party with your, I think, 20, how many hats did you have on? 20? Something like that, right? More or less. So you just make everything fun. We are so proud of you. We're proud of the incredible things that you have accomplished today, the journey that you have taken to get here. We're so happy that you and your family are a part of our community. It's been so wonderful getting to know all of you, and we're happy that you're a part of our family. Mazel tov. Oh yeah, there we go.
These are all the hats
And I had a couple pair of glasses on as well.
And the glasses.
So hats and glasses. Daniel, you did it!
Finally,
We're
it's over.
Here. Finally, it's over. You know what? It has been such an honor to be on this journey with you. You are so funny, so full of light that you bring. We share a good taste in music and video games. So what I'm going to say is you don't have to sacrifice all the time that you spend with your quote-unquote unproductive stuff. But we see you, all of us see you changing and making the choices to be part of this community, to be evolving into an even better human than you already are. You are awesome. I'm so proud of your hard work. Congratulations, Mazal Tov.
Thank you.
We're going to ask for our Akiba 8th graders to come forward once again for a special blessing. We're going to do it under your family heirloom talit.
This is the one I was talking about earlier.
So everyone, this is an old talit, so be really careful with it. Gentle, gentle, gentle.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'ishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha vichuneka.
May God's light shine through you and be gracious unto you.
Yisod Adonai panav elecha, ve'asem lecha shalom.
May God's light always shine through you, Daniel, and grant you the most precious gift, the gift of shalom, of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Mazel tov. Group hug, everyone.
Yes, everyone. There's no one here.
All right, bye. We love you. Here, let's put this back. I got it.
Has he followed around yet?
What an honor it is now to invite forward, representing our congregation, our senior educator, Randy Bischoff, to offer a Shabbat Shalom as well as some presentations for Daniel. Randy, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Randy, and I'm the Director of Education here. And welcome to Temple Akiba. I met quite a few of you on the way in. You're from quite a wide variety of places, so welcome to Temple Akiba, to Los Angeles. I hope you enjoy your time here. Mazel tov, Daniel. That was an amazing, amazing service. You led it with grace and fortitude and just simply amazing. So we are all so proud of you. When you guys first came here, I was a little unsure if you were going to be like a problem or... I was a little unsure at first. I might have had a conversation with your parents once or twice, but really quickly I learned that you were going to be great. You sailed through. I saw how brilliant you were, how many questions you asked, and I really missed interacting with you during COVID and when we came back and what you became when you weren't here. And I'm really pleased to have spent time with you now that we're back and to see what you became. So Mazel Tov. And on behalf of the synagogue, I present to you this certificate of Bar Mitzvah.
Thank you. Not going to be a problem either way.
And in addition, we have planted a tree in Israel in your honor, and I hope one day you get to visit it. Mazel Tov.
Oh yeah, this part.
We've got one additional tradition, and that is the signing of our Lador Vador scroll. This is a special scroll that we had commissioned by artist Mordechai Rosenstein. We've got a motto at Temple Akiba, our light shines brighter together, and Mordechai created a piece of artwork that looks like this. It says, Orenu me'ir tov yoter yachad. And all over the outsides of this scroll are beautiful designs, but the inside is blank, and every single person who becomes a bar or a bat mitzvah here has the opportunity to sign this. So, you are going to be right underneath the one and only Indy Gantman. Oops, hold on 1 second.
I'm going to try to write well enough so that someone else can read it.
Yeah, you got the C in there, okay. What's today's date? The 11th.
11-22.
All right, everyone say Mazel Tov!
Mazel tov!
All right, friends.
Sit down now.
We've come to our concluding prayers, beginning with the Aleinu. We're on page 262, about halfway down the page. We invite you to please rise once again. You're going to open the ark. You're going to do both doors, Daniel.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד. You're going to stand on that side of the rabbi. You're going to be right here, right here.
On page 291, toward the bottom, as we prepare for the Mourners' Kaddish, we offer this setting. There are stars up above, so far we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. We remember at this time the following beloved family members and friends: Faye and Bing Decker, Ruth and Alan Hindler, Michael Schapiro, Charles and Ruth Schapiro, Frank and Rose Rosen. May their memories guide us with goodness always. On page 294, we have the words for the Mourners' Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'yalma divrach rotei b'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chaye techol Beit Yisrael, bagalau v'izman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam ulmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei t'kedusha b'rechu. Le'elav b'kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say, Amen. Amen. Everyone take a deep breath.
We are going to be closing with the singing of Oseh Shalom, and we're going to ask for you to actually put down your prayer books because we need your hands for a lot of hand clapping. And Marnie, Matt, and Charlie, and Lucy, we invite you up to the bima for our closing song. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Say shalom bimroma, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael.
So we've got one more blessing and then one more instruction. I'm going to give the instruction first, actually.
Fine.
As you leave the sanctuary, if you can take the blue prayer books and help our 8th graders by placing them on the shelf on the way out, that will be so helpful. But before that, we have the motzi. Which is bread. Are you doing the East Coast version again?
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Split it with Daddy.
Thank you.
That is
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That was beautiful.
Amazing. Thank you, Liz.
It was really
Hey.
Wow.
Mazel tov, sweetie. That was
It's always
fantastic.
very awkward, like while we were
Mazel
here and
tov,
everyone